Hey guys, it's Alex and welcome to my channel. Finally, look what I just received recently. My PR card! Yes, after almost 2 years here in Canada, I finally became a permanent resident. And in today's content, I will be sharing my timeline and how I achieved this milestone from being an international student for a year, PGWP of 4 months, and now a PR without any agent's help at all. Yes, you heard it right. It's purely DIY or my own research from the very beginning, and yes, it's 100% possible. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit and talk about what really pushed me to migrate at my early 20s. Before migrating to Canada, I had over 3 years of engineering work experience, with the 2 years mostly being work from home because of the strike of pandemic in 2020. Since there was a total lockdown in the Philippines, I had a routine of sleeping in my room, working in my room, exercising in my room, basically doing almost everything in my room. It was a routine that was mentally draining. Please don't take it negatively. I am grateful to get to do all of those things. But I was searching for more, and that's my personality. I have been always searching for more challenges, opportunities, and growth. And also, with the inflation of goods and services in the Philippines, my salary as an engineer wasn't able to catch up. In short, I'm an overworked young adult with poor compensation. And so I asked myself, is it really worth it? No, it was time to step up. Okay, so before I decided to study in Canada, my initial attempt at migrating was through a work permit. However, unfortunately, my profession in Canada is regulated, meaning even if I'm a registered civil engineer in the Philippines, it is not recognized in Canada. And so I resorted to my plan D, which is applying for a student visa, wherein I personally chose not to hire any agent, of course, to cut costs and to be in full control of my application. But my mind then was, how and where do I begin? So the way I did it is I summarized everything into one Excel file. I'll just show a sneak peek of it. Sobrang daming tabs, but yeah, I started researching for schools muna that offered my program of choice. Ito yung list across British Columbia, Alberta, and Ontario. Among all the schools listed there, I selected the top 10 down to the top 5 to the 3 options based on the university's cost, program, quality, and reputation. So the top 3 were actually the University of British Columbia, the University of Calgary, and the University of Alberta. I applied to those 3 in November 2021, and luckily I got the acceptance letter from the University of Calgary. So for those who are interested to apply for masters here in Canada, I'll probably do a separate vlog to get into the nitty-gritty details. But for an overview, most universities here require a bachelor's GPA of 3 out of the 4 grading system here in Canada, or 1.75 out of the 5-point scale grading system in the Philippines. They also require a passed English exam like academic IELTS, at least 3 signed reference letters from professors, and the weirdest requirement of some competitive universities like UBC is an existing master's degree in the Philippines. Well, this is the case for an engineering program, and the universities I applied to, I'm not sure if it's applicable as well to other programs and to other universities. Ayun, I also made this master file or my guide on how to apply as an international student for PGWP, PR, and up until sponsoring my parents. Nandyan yung step-by-step procedures for each application and document checklists. The other tabs are supporting references like kung may di ako ma-research sa net, I compiled my personal queries to immigrants. Then there's also a tab for the things to do before, during, and after my flight, what to expect in Canada upon arrival, and so on and so forth. So basically, that Excel file is like my personal Google or guide into surviving in Canada and, of course, achieving my main goal, which is becoming a PR. So as a calculated risk taker, I made that Excel file to see how feasible my plan would be in a long-term perspective before spending any cent on any applications. You know what? I also created a PowerPoint presentation for my parents to show them the projected timeline of everything. Crazy, right? So going back, after receiving my letter of acceptance or LOA from University of Calgary for the program Masters in Civil and Environmental Engineering, I immediately submitted my student visa application. I think that was on April 26th of 2022, and I got approved on July 8th, 2022. August 16, 2022, I landed in Canada full of enthusiasm and anxiety, enthusiastic for the growth and opportunities ahead, and at the same time anxious as I am completely in a new country with no friends and family to come home to. Ayun, nung unang months ko dito, international students were only allowed to work for less than 20 hours per week. And since most engineering firms don't accept part-timers, I failed to get a job related to my profession. To survive and to pay off monthly bills, I sent out my resume sa kahit anong jobs. Fortunately, I got accepted in a boutique store and a fast food chain store. I worked there part-time as a cashier while I was studying my master's. A few months after, or at the end of 2022, IRCC announced a new temporary policy that international students were allowed back then to work for more than 20 hours per week or work full-time. So, dali-dali akong nag-send ulit ng resume ko sa mga engineering firms. In God's grace, I got 3 job offers from big firms like ACOM, Arcadis, and WSP. So, I accepted the latter. I accepted WSP's job offer as a water and wastewater engineer. Okay, so after all the hustle and bustle, I managed to complete my master's degree in civil and environmental engineering while working full-time. Mind you, that was the busiest year of my life. May time na kailangan ko pumunta ng construction site. I need to supervise them whole day. And right after, I need to go to school for my 6 to 9 night class. Then uuwi ako, magluluto ako, gagawa ng schoolworks, and the next morning, work again. May instances din na hindi na talaga ako nakaka-attend ng lectures, and tuwing exam na lang ako nagsho-show up because of pagod. Pagod ka-OT or sa work. But yeah, I don't know how I was able to survive that. Maybe because I have a cup of coffee every day. That's an energy booster. That's my essential. Yun yung essential ko talaga. Like, I cannot survive. Like, every time na mag-work ako, kailangan mayroon ako cup of coffee, and it's not good. Pero yun, I managed to complete my master's in a year. Actually, master's in Canada typically runs for at least 2 years, but I opted to fast-track mine through overloading my courses in my second semester, kaya nag-run lang siya in a year. So I actually have a separate vlog showing my routine as an international student while working full-time as an engineer. If you're interested to watch it, please check the description box below for the link. Okay, so after receiving my completion letter from U of C, I immediately did 2 things. First is I applied for PGWP, and second is I created my express entry profile. For PGWP, I got approved for a 3-year work permit, and I worked with the same employer. On the other hand, I created my express entry profile as a single applicant in my mid-20s and qualified under the Federal Skilled Workers with a comprehensive ranking score or CRS of 511 points. Hindi ako nag-fall under CEC because I haven't accumulated yet a year of work experience in Canada. So if you're interested to check your CRS, there's actually a link or an online calculator tool from IRCC. Okay, so after 4 months of PGWP and being in the express entry pool, I finally received an invitation to apply, or ITA, on April 12, 2024 under the STEM category, meaning the ITAs were only meant for those people who have a knock code under the STEM category. So ito yung list, and you can actually see this in IRCC's website as well. So in my case, my knock code is 21300 for civil engineers. After 3 months of waiting, on July 12, 2024, I finally received a golden email that I am officially a PR. And the month after, I received my PR card. I actually felt relieved that everything turned out as expected and as planned. I think this journey is definition of God's perfect timing. Kasi nung nag-migrate ako, first time inalaw ng IRCC ang mga international students to work for more than 20 hours per week. And also, first time din nagkaroon ng STEM category for PR. I really wouldn't be able to make it without his blessings. And of course, my family in the Philippines who supported me financially, mentally, emotionally, lahat na ng li. Also sa partner ko and sa friends ko who constantly reminded me that I can and I will be able to make it. Ayun, in that journey, I realized that being an OFW may sound like a daunting venture, but trust me, sipagan mo lang. Magtiwala ka sa sarili mo at kay God because all your efforts will be seen, your prayers will be heard, and everything will pay off at the end of the day. Kaya to all the OFWs and aspiring OFWs out there, I commend your heart and your bravery. Lalo na sa parents ko who were the first OFWs I had ever known. I salute you both. I never knew how hard it is to live and to work abroad alone, not until I experienced it myself. Kaya big respect to all of W's out there. Anyway, that summarizes everything. Thank you for watching my vlog. Before I end this video, I will be flashing the summarized timeline from student to PR. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next vlog.